What's good on this Good Friday? What's good, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? Give it like a minute or two. Hey, let me know if y'all can hear me out there. How I look? Everything good? Tonight is Man Sharp as Man. Conversation for the bros. All right. It's a conversation for your sons. It's a conversation for the bros. It's a conversation for fellas. You know what I'm saying? Ladies can definitely attend because you could definitely learn something and you could pass it on to your husbands, to your sons, to your brothers. How y'all doing? My name is Ken Billions, if you didn't know. And tonight is Man Sharpens Man. I do these conversations from time to time because it's not a lot of conversations that happen for fellas in particular. So I just want the guys out there to know you good here. All right. No judgment zone. You know, it's about learning. It's about improving. And you here on a Friday night. So that says a lot about you. All right. So again, ladies, you can attend. In fact, ladies, if you got men on your timeline or men in your life, please share this video with them because I'm going to go a few places because tonight I'm dealing with the futuristic man, the ideal futuristic man. So I'm going to go a few places in hopes that the fellas that hear this, when you're done, you have a level up. All right. You have a confidence level up. You got a self-esteem level up. You got a self-portrait level up. So for the ladies out there, that's your only job. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely sit in on a conversation, but that's your only job is to share it with any men in your life, you know, because you want them to grow, right? You want them to get better. You want them to achieve more. That puts you in a better position, all right? So we're going to go a few places. First, I'm going to start with the ideal man. And then I'm going to go into the futuristic man. And then the man of the future is not a particular word. What it is a set of behaviors. And I'm going to play a video and we're all going to examine these behaviors. And I think it'll be a unilateral decision that this behavior does not fit anyone going into the future. So we're going to develop the futuristic man here tonight. You guys are going to help me. So I want to get into the ideal man first. The ideal man. All right. The ideal man is a different man. It's not the guy that you see on the shade room. The ideal man is very stoic. The ideal man is very intelligent. You know what? Someone else can explain it better than me. Okay. So let's get into it. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. If you can see my screen, press 1 so I know everything is a go. If you can see my screen, let me know. All right, let's go. This is the ideal man, just a little bit.
My purpose in writing is to project the ideal man. For those who may not have read Atlas Shrugged and have not yet met Hank Rearden or John Galt, how would you describe the ideal man?
Well, it took me about 700,000 words in Atlas Shrugged to describe him, so it's impossible to give a description. But I could tell you only the essential characteristics above everything else. A rational man.
A rational man.
Rational man. A man guided exclusively by reason, an independent man, and a man of great self-esteem. I would name these three as distinguishing characteristics, the essential ones of what I regard as an ideal man.
So a rational man then would depend upon nothing except his own reason for determining his actions.
Exactly.
No belief in or no belief in anything he couldn't see or touch.
That isn't exactly the definition of reason. Certainly no belief as faith. No faith in anything. But reason is the faculty which identifies and integrates the material provided by your senses. So you don't smell or touch with your reason. That's the material which your reason integrates into concepts. And certainly an ideal man would never permit himself to act on the guidance of emotions or to act without knowing exactly what he's doing. If he's guided by reason, this will be the first two consequences. He will always know what he is doing and why, and he will not act blindly, and he would not act because he felt like it. To my ideal man and to me, this is one of the worst, most immoral actions that anyone can permit himself to say, I did it because I felt like it. It's quite all right to feel, but feelings are not tools of cognition. They are not guides to reality, and you keep your feelings to yourself. Feelings are the consequences of thought and action, not the primary.
So if I didn't do it because I felt like it, why did I do it? I did it because
you felt. Now you see how that language is.
Right.
Because you concluded consciously that this is the right thing to do, right for whichever goal you're undertaking. You decide what you want rationally, and you choose rationally what steps you will take to pursue that goal. So that if you take a given action, you do it because you think it is right.
Should he have any concern for other men? You say individual, you say...
Concern is a very loose term. What would you mean by it?
Well, certainly most of us are brought up on an ethic that says that we are our brother's keeper.
I would say we most certainly are not, could not be, and should not attempt to be. The only concern men should have for other men is respect for their rights. A man should never expect another man to sacrifice for him, nor should he sacrifice himself for other men. He should respect the independence and the rights of others, and never take part in any form of enslavement, political enslavement. But outside of that, he's not responsible for other men and should never permit them to assume the role of responsibility for him. He should not submit to force nor exercise force. He should not ask others to live for his sake, nor should he ever live for the sake of others.
That's deep. That's a great philosopher, Ayn Rand. All right. And it's interesting to hear a woman talk about the ideal man. And when we hear modern women say what a man is, the only thing they say is he's a provider, AKA kind of a trick, right? But you never hear it in those kind of details because everything she was discussing about the ideal man had everything to do with him, not anyone else. If he gives to others, it was a byproduct of those characteristics that she was just talking about. I think that's very interesting because even in the barbershop, the conversation is not about, well, what exactly is a man? And not just a man, what is an ideal man? And if you usually ask somebody that, it's always going to have something in relation to what that man could do for the person that's describing what a man is. The way she just framed what an ideal man was had nothing to do with anyone else but him. Don't you think that people that are on the bottom need some information that's directly about them, right? something that can get them out of a grave, something that can get them out of a jam, something that can, information that can get them out of a low space, away from suicide. Mental health in men is shit right now. Why? Because outside of getting a job, we haven't really discussed any other template. Because if a guy is not doing something for you, then what is he doing? If he's not protecting you from a pit bull, what is he doing then? Does he have purpose? If he can't come give you his whole check, does he still have value? Or is his only value and his only purpose to provide for others? What about him? Because we're talking about the ideal man. As we're walking into the future, we're going to have to design what is the futuristic man. Because if we continue down this path, your brothers and your uncles are going to deteriorate. They're not going to have anything left, and they're going to die of a broken heart. Because what do we do to build up the mind frame from a male child to a man? What is the steps? The only thing you tell them is get a job, and that's it. Well, that has everything to do with you. What about the guy? What's in it for him? Right? And what she just discussed had nothing to do with anyone else. That's what made it so dope. Right? Manhood is an independent thing. It's something a guy does, even when no one is around. It's not children or a woman that makes a guy a man. It's what he does with himself independently. It's a mental space. It's a reality. It's not something that everybody can do. Every male can't be man. It's not a hormone, right? You don't all of a sudden become man when you turn 25. It's alchemy. It's going from one stage to another stage. It's involution, right? And that's what the ideal man, what she just described, was discussing. Now, why am I building on that? Because the next video I'm going to show you, you're going to see that this individual doesn't have these characteristics. And before I play this individual, I mean no harm by it. It's just a case study. And this is what I'm going to use to teach. Because if I could use this gentleman's story to help someone else pivot, then his sacrifices, it's not in vain. But I'm going to show you something very interesting. And if you got time, stay like 20 minutes, because this is very tragic. Okay. And you tell me, is this the characteristics of the ideal man? Because after you see what I'm about to show you, you'll scratch your head and you'll understand why I played what I played. All right. 1 second. This is very interesting. All right. 1 second. You guys good out there? How you doing? All right. So follow me. There's a method to my madness right now. I had to start with the ideal man, though, because what I'm about to show you is a case of finessing. It's a case of low self-esteem. It's a case of, it's a case of the importance of the ideal man. Okay. And for women out there, especially if you don't have any men around, it's important that you talk to your sons, right? And fathers, talk to your sons, because what I'm about to show you is very tragic, and this could be your son. Now, no judgment, though. This is no judgment. This is out there, and we just gonna look at it, and we just gonna do a case study. All right. Follow this story, though. Very, very tragic.
Move in 3,000 on the date too. It's the date. Okay. Now, I got several of these. Let's see. I mean, I got like 12. These are just directly. It's another one for $3,200. Let me see. There, brother polite. So That's outside, and I'm gonna just show you. Look how many of those, Brother Polite, all those, Brother Polite. You know, so it's for real. It's for real. And then everything I couldn't send through this, you saw the Western Union's receipts, Walmart to Walmart, MoneyGrams. Then I got the Cash App receipts. Let me pull them up real quick. Give me a second. I got Cash Apps, and then I got the Apple Pays. All right, here we go. Okay, Jessica Casey. Those are all right at. Gail. I don't know who Gail is. He sent me money to Gail. Nina, Jessica Casey. You see all those? You see that? You see Nina's picture? It's for real. See Jessica Casey with Brother Polite on there? It's for real.
Watch how sad this story is.
You know
this is a crazy story.
Tazani, his daughter, straight to her too. I don't know who, you know what I'm saying? This is everybody he was telling me to send Cash Apps to. Okay? So whenever I was sending money to Polite, he was like, yo, send me a pic, send me proof, like send me a pic that you just sent it. So I'm always literally taking pics. Oh, by the way, all receipts. Just these alone, this one right here. I mean, literally, just Western Union. Show them the Western Union. I'm not even the name. Western Union. All just endless amounts of receipts. I didn't even want to pull them out because it's windy up here. So I got bags and bags of everything I spent with Polite. And you know what I'm saying? I don't got time to show the names. I don't got time to show the amounts or the dates. It's all right here.
Oh, mind you, this is not a diss track. I'm not doing a diss track. What I want you to do is pay attention to the individual. Now, their relationship, that's between them. No judgment. You know what I'm saying? No judgment. I ain't got a hell to put nobody in. I just want you to pay attention to this individual in particular, because we're talking about the ideal man, right? And we want to build the futuristic man, the man of the future. Because this story right here, there's a disconnect somewhere. And he ain't the only one that takes L's in life. But this kind of L right here, just make sure this is not your son.
Like it's all right here, Western Union, you know what I'm saying? All there. In fact, and then Polite's got all the texts because I sent this money down.
Aloha, YouTube. It's your boy Crypto Roots. And I really feel like I need to express myself because I'm having some very unhealthy thoughts in my head. And I want to tell you the absolute truth about my experience with Brother Polite as his mentee. Like, I'm not lying. There's no reason to lie. I'm not trying to get anything that I don't deserve back. I just want the money I invested back. So I'm starting from the beginning. This may seem like a long story. There's a lot going on. And so I was in Hawaii doing my thing, studying crypto, studying programming. And like I said in my other videos, I knew I had to make sacrifices. So I slept on the beach in a hammock and was just grinding until my programming skills were good enough. And, you know what I'm saying? And it just so happened that my father died. We weren't that close, but I was on my own for a long time, since I was 16, 17. I've been on my own, you know? I haven't lived with him, and we weren't that close. But he ended up having a heart attack. He ended up dying. And then I found out that I was going to get some life insurance money. And it just so happened I needed it because I only had like 45 cents in my bank account. I just was grinding, just saving my crypto. I didn't want to sell my crypto. I knew that one day it would go up. And I was just freelancing, hustling, farming, trying to get any paper I could to survive while I'm, you know. So I ended up getting that money. And I thought I had two major decisions I could have made. And the first one was just to buy Bitcoin and then travel Asia, South Korea, Asia. And the other was to I've been following Brother Polite. Like, he woke me up into consciousness.
Here we go.
He was the main reason, that and Bitcoin. And I told him this, he woke me up into consciousness. And as I started following his teachings, I started doing the tax liens. I bought a few of his books. A few orders didn't come through. I didn't trip on it. I just charged that to the game. And I love this brother. I really, really, really love this brother from the bottom of my heart. I didn't even know him. All I knew of him was virtually from what I saw.
Oh, here we go. If someone wakes you up to consciousness, they wake you up to yourself. That's what being the ideal man is all about. Any awareness that you go through, it has to do with yourself. Has nothing to do with the community. It has nothing to do with just information, stats and facts. Nah, it has everything to do with mirrors. So you see the first problem right here. And many people are going through this right here. You have a misconception of what you think being awake is. Being awake is has nothing to do with the outside world. It's a personal journey. So here's where the story and this man's life is changed forever. Again, their relationship, that's between them. This is no judgment. But I want to focus on what's the disconnect here. Because this could be your son if you're not paying attention. This could be your brother. Hell, it may be your man in some instances. All right. So understand, being awake and being awake to consciousness, it doesn't have nothing to do with the community or trees or bugs. None of that shit. It has everything to do with the person in the mirror.
Saw virtually. And I knew that he had a lot of hate, a lot of people hating him, and I didn't necessarily understand why. And everyone's calling him a scammer, people calling him a fraud, people this, and against my own better judgment, I chose not to believe that. I chose to believe that he had a powerful message, and that, that it could really help our people, our Black people out. So
you see? Hold on. Hold on.
For the mentorship, because I was so
hold
inspired
on.
after.
You see the collective thought? He felt like his information could really help the people. This is about the ideal man. The ideal man does not think like that. The people. Who the fuck is that? You see? Now that's a form of finesse right there. I call it cultural finesse. The people, the babies. Who the hell is that? Right? So right here, this individual is not thinking about themselves. You know, my philosophy, mind your business. He's thinking about the people. And watch where this mentality takes this individual. It is extremely sad. I must warn you.
Watching one of his live streams, but when he hit me back, I didn't have any money, and I felt so bad, so terrible. I felt like I missed out on an opportunity to change my finances, to change my life, and be Brother Polite's mentee. So I said, man, if I ever have the money, it was $3,500 for the minimal mentee. If I ever had that money, I would invest it with Brother Polite.
Hold up. I got to keep stopping it. You have $3,500. Why would you pay someone for a mentorship when you could pay for a skill? That makes sense. That makes more sense to pay for a skill, right? Something to do, right? What do you think the $3,500 is going to do? Right? Interesting. But you see the confidence though. When an ideal man is going to take that and invest in themselves. Now you could pay somebody to service you if you think, you know, they got some game or something, astrology, something like that. But yeah, nah, your biggest investment is on you because this person didn't invest none of this in themselves. But we're just getting started though. So kick your feet up.
And I would change my life, you know, financially, you know. So I had the money. It was over 100 grand. And I hit up Polite. Like the moment I got out of the bank, I hit up Brother Polite and I said, hey, I got the bread. I'm ready to start the mentorship. And he was like, oh, and he realized that I was in Hawaii. So it wasn't just like send a Chase or send a Wells Fargo. There's 2 different bank accounts. So I had to send, it wasn't sending him money. It was sending other people money. Women, men, people I didn't know about. People I thought or assumed were his financial advisors or people in his financial realm.
Business is not done like that. Y'all know that, right? That business is not conducted like that. So you see already what's going on with this individual right here. But no shade, no diss. Like I said, this is man sharpens man. But I have to call a spade a spade. Black America is lacking financial literacy. Okay. Black American approach to business, there's something off. Right? If you think that business is conducted like this, that if you're paying someone for a course, that you're sending money to random individuals. If you from this is scrambling. This is what this is. This is scrambling. Let's go.
So we were texting, we were talking, Western Union, MoneyGram. It was literally for like weeks. I'm sending him bread. And so I sent him bread for the mentorship, that alone. And then once that bread was sent, it was $3,500. He started talking to me, give me the mentorship, and gave me the whole spiel. And I was like, wow, man, I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe, like, I'm talking to Brother Polite. Like, I can't believe, like, I'm in this mentorship. And the first investment, he was like, so he has a deal with tax liens, and if he buys a bunch of tax liens at once, then he gets a discount from the county, and it'll cost me about $30,000 to invest in the tax liens. And he said I would triple my money or something like that. Maybe it wasn't 30,000, it was 25,000. I would triple my money in a half. That's what he told me, 3.2 times my return. And he said every 14 days. That's what he told me.
Any math people out there? If he puts up $25,000 and he triples his money every 14 days, what is that? I need somebody that's a good numbers person. 25,000. I know I got some smart people in the chat. I got some of the smartest supporters out there. So I know someone's going to help me out with this real quick. So 25,000 triple every 14 days. What is that? That's some hella compounding. What is that? Every 14 days. What is that? 75,000? Every 14 days? Come on, somebody chat. Y'all sleep. I need some help. Because we got some adding to do. This young man was told that his money could be flipped. 25,000 would be, okay, 75. Okay, wait, come on. Somebody said 75,000. Okay. So he just told him that he'll flip his money triple. Okay. I'm just making sure we all on the same page. All right. So 75,000, right? Okay. So every 14 days, every 14 days, and he believed it. So I'm not talking about bruh. I'm not coming at him at all. But that says a lot, yo. $75,000 every 14 days. Wow. Hey.
3.2 times your return every 14 days from your 20-something, $30,000 investment. Then whoa, this is crazy. Like I could come up like that just every 2 weeks. And then so I started sending him that bread. Like, wow, man, I can't believe this is really happening. And yeah, so he told me I would get back $42.3 thousand from the money I sent him. And I was like, dope. And I think I paid for the trust too. I'm not even sure how much that cost. Oh, so what I slipped up and I fucked up. And I told him how much money I received. That was my fault.
Boom. Never tell nobody how much money you got, yo. We're talking about the ideal man tonight. People talk too much, yo. Why would you tell someone how? See, we got a society that favors the victim. But I understand that we live in the wild. So this is why I can't really say anything about bruh for real. Because if someone is going for this shit, then now you can go too far with your finesse. You can do that. But he basically told this man, give him $25,000, and in 1 year he'll turn it over to $1 million off a $25,000 investment. If he could do that, then that would make him one of the greatest financial wizards ever. Because if you could do that for 25,000, what can you do with 250? What can you do with 2.5? But I don't want to focus on dude. I want to focus on my man right here, because we're talking about the ideal man. Do you guys think this is man sharpens man? Do you guys feel like this is ideal man behavior? What do you guys think? Young is not an excuse, yo. He'll get charged as an adult if he commits murder. Young is not an excuse, because you could begin to train them young. Young isn't an excuse. His behavior, his way of thinking is very common in this culture. Nah, that's not an excuse. He can be a father right now, right? He can go in the military right now. There's a deeper thing about this. The ideal man. First of all, this individual is walking around with a group consciousness. Let's go.
And I know in retrospect, he took full advantage of that. He took full advantage. And as I'm sending him money, I'm thinking like, hey man, like what else is on the next level of the mentorship? Oh, it's about 5,000 this and 5,000 that, and you get this and this, you get another streams of income. It's like 3, 6, and 9 different streams of income. So I'm thinking like, hey, it's just a little extra investment. Why not just get the other mentorship? Why not just step it up a level? He was like, all right, cool, send me the bread. So I sent him the money. And then I'm like, we're sending him more money. I'm not even sure. Like, and then I'm thinking like, why don't I? I was like, what's the next level? He's like, the celebrity mentorship. And I'm like, that's when I told him how much money I got. He's like, oh, I'm gonna just give you the mentorship I give Floyd and all the celebrities. I'll just
boom. Look at this shit. The celebrity mentorship. Now, why would someone go for that, right? When you hear something like that, you would just assume this individual silly. You sure about that? We have a celebrity culture. The Shade Room has 20 million followers. Baller alert. People share celebrity business all day long. So why wouldn't this person think that that was valuable? This is a culture that worships celebrity. This is a culture that worships celebrity. So this person got told that they could get the celebrity mentorship. The celebrity. Ideal men don't go for that because celebrity is not valuable. So you couldn't get an ideal man like that. Right? This is a value conversation. This individual is thinking that these things have value, but he's not one time picking himself. Now you expect this individual to protect and provide. You automatically call this individual man. So here's right here, we see that the man is an actual thing. It's a thinking. This individual is not thinking like a man because his mind is gone. Man is a thing. Clearly. Clearly.
just give you that one. I'm thinking, damn, like for real, it's like that. Like I'm just gonna get the celebrity mentorship from Brother Polite. Like, all right, like for sure. And then later he was like, oh, you want to come out to LA to buy a condo? It's gonna cost $17,000. Was what, just 17 grand? For sure, like no problem. It's like, oh, my wife, Raed, she's a property manager. She'll manage it for you. You're gonna be an entrepreneur. You're gonna that'll be another stream of income. And I'm thinking, and he's like, so when can you make it out to LA? And I'm like, damn, I don't know, like next week or something. Like, and you know what I'm saying? I was just living out of, so I ended up having enough money to live out of my van. I'm telling Polite, yo, I'm living out of my van right now. I just got this bread. I didn't spend hardly anything. You know what I'm saying? Hardly anything. I'm still so in frugal state of mind and just, you know what I'm saying, wanting to invest, you know, and change my future. And so, yeah, I bought the ticket, you know, and I bought a few music instruments just to hold me down because I need my music spiritually. And then I bought a ticket to LA. And then Polite was like, yo, I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet you, you know, and I'm like, yo. So I go out to LA, I go to, I forgot, the Galleria or whatever, I forgot what they call it, you know, over there in Beverly Hills. And then, you know, so I meet him in person, like, yo, man, like, you changed my life. Like seriously, brother, I'm so excited to meet you in person. And I wasn't sure what to do. Oh, and he also told me, bring as much money in cash on the plane with you. I was like, how much can I bring? He's like, up to $10,000. And so I brought $9,000 in cash. And the moment I met him, I gave him the $9,000 in cash. And I didn't know what was going to happen. And he was just like, all right. I got things to do. I need to hang out with him.
The first time he meets him, he gives him $9 grand. Y'all talk to your sons for real. Talk to them hard too. I'm being honest, right? Like talk to them in such a hard way that if people are listening, they'll be like, oh, don't say that. Nah, you got to talk to your children hard because the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Again, I can't really be mad at the individual, for real. People are who they are. Like, how to be this game goofy has everything to do with manhood. So you see an individual walking around and he has a full beard, and you say that's man. He's a man. No, he's not, because a man is something above the neck, man. He gave the guy 9 racks off the first intro. That's called a hard ass choose.
My wife, I'll see you later. And I'm thinking, all right, let me just get like an Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? I never hear every Airbnb before. And so yeah, and I'm just kicking into my Airbnb thinking like, all right, what's the next step? And thinking, he's like, yo, you can rent one of my cars. I own a part of a luxury car company. And how much? And he's like, this is how much it's gonna cost, $1,200. And I'm thinking, damn. So I gave him like $3,000 to rent the car, or the rental cars, luxury car. And that's when the first sketchy thing happened that I really that first came up. And him and Omanette and Ma'at pulled up. I said, hey, you guys changed my life. Let's go upstairs.
This boy is so starstruck. Now, you heard him say that him and his father wasn't close. And his father did him a huge disservice. He gave his son money without instructions. Now, I got a question. Did his father like him? It seemed like he was trying to get back at the mama or something. Because remember, this guy said he was sleeping on the beach. So let's be real, and it's okay. Money's not his thing. We can already tell this. Money ain't his thing. He was just doing his crypto thing, sleeping on the beach, just kind of living like a stoner life, which is fine, right? A hippie life. His father put $150,000 in his hand with no instruction, with no journal. And now he is out here with the wolves, because above the neck, he's immature. He's an adolescent. Below the neck, he's a man. Hair on his chest, puberty, all that shit. But above the neck is where man resides. Okay? It's psychology. It's a spirituality. It's a whole nother realm. Males compete physically. Men compete above the neck. Always remember that.
So, and he's like, I'll be back later. I'll drop off the car later. And I was like, hey, I just want to go see my old homies. I'm from LA. I want to go see my old homies. And he was like, all right, I'll drop off the car later. No word from him that night. And I hit him up late, like, yo, you still dropping this? Like, yo, yeah, if you still need me to drop it off, I'll drop it off. And I'm like, all right. He's like, yo, I'm busy. And I'm like, okay. And then I think the next day comes by and he nothing yet. And I'm like, he's like, no, I just wanted the car to be ready. It was raining. Somebody else went and washed the car. The car washed and that. And so straight up, no fucking car. And I really think the next step after that, yeah. So that's what happened. And I don't know, for some reason I let it go, because the next thing was like, yo, I'm about to go to Vegas this weekend. You want to come with me? I'm about to go in the music studio in Vegas. I want to see if you want to come with me. You want to come. And I'm thinking like, yo, like, what does that mean? Like, do I got to drive behind you? Like, are you going to be with your wives? Because he's always like, I don't have any men around me. So I was trying to be like respectful. Like, you're like, what are you implying? He's like,
what do you mean? Like, and I'm like, yo, I'm not sure. And so that's the first time he flipped out. It's like, did I ever tell you something? Like, did I ever tell you that? And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just trying to be. He's like, I don't know. He just kind of flipped a little, and I'm like, whoa, all right, like, yeah, of course I want to go. Like, of course, like, I'm totally down to go. And I'm like,
what's wrong with this picture? How is the dude with the money being talked to like this? He's the one with the racks. He's the one with the paper. And he's being talked to real greasy. And he's going for it. This is about the ideal man. This guy was in this situation for a few reasons. A big reason that this guy was in this situation is because he's holding this other individual to a high regard based on collective consciousness. You heard him say that he felt like he had great information that can elevate the people. Here we go. He's holding this individual up on this pedestal because of the shit that y'all have pushed onto people, of this group identity, of this black shit. This kind of thinking is costing this young man money that he probably never touch again. Because he believing in this collectivism shit. That's not the ideal man. That's not the futuristic man. No.
yo, I'll even drive. I offered to drive. It's like, no, you don't got to drive. I want to give you the mentorship. I want to go over the mentorship with you on the way there. So just knock out a few things. And I'm thinking, dope, man. Dope. So, yeah, we go. And then I didn't know it was Nina at the time, but we go and pick her up. And then we go and pick up the cameraman, who was a hella cool dude. And so we start driving. And then literally, like, he was like, hey, G, you want to drive? And I'm like, all right. So, yeah, I pretty much drove the whole way there to Vegas. And no mentorship for me. He was writing lyrics, going over with Nina. He was doing other mentorships. And I'm just having to drive. And then he's tripping out about how soon he needs to be in the studio because it's going to cost him more money. And so I'm literally speeding to Vegas. And we get pulled over, I get the ticket. And he's like, don't.
Yo. Big bank take little bank. What that means is, if you are the money guy, you are not the driver, yo. He's the one with the capital, and he's being moved around and handled a certain type of way. Why? What's missing? The concept of the ideal man is drained from this individual. That's why you're witnessing what you're witnessing.
Don't worry, put that in your trash, write it off, it's all good. So I get to, and then we drive to the studio. And yeah, we get to the studio, and then we're just chilling. We're just chilling. And then check this out. So I stopped drinking. I was going clean because I'm thinking, well, Brother Polite, he doesn't smoke weed. He doesn't drink alcohol. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I didn't even want to mention marijuana. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, yo, you drink, G? And I'm like, nah, I don't drink. He was like, oh, all right, well, can you run in the store and can you go grab some Hennessy for us? And I'm like, on the way there, I was like, sorry, bro, but if I don't drink, that's my rule. I don't pay for other people's alcohol. And he just didn't say nothing. And so him and Nina, they go and they grab the Hennessy, and he grabs like potato chips, a bunch of fucking garbage from the liquor store. my health master teacher just eating a bunch of fucking garbage, grabbing a Hennessy bottle, and I'm thinking, damn, all right, whatever. And yeah, we get to the studio.
Hold up.
And then we're just chilling. Oh, we're just chilling. And then check this out. So I stopped drinking. I was going clean because I'm thinking, well, Brother Polite, he doesn't even smoke weed. He doesn't drink alcohol. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I didn't even want to mention marijuana. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, yo, you drink, G? And I'm like, nah, I don't drink. He was like, oh, all right, well, you run in the store and go, can you go grab some Hennessy for us? And I'm like, on the way there, I was like, sorry, bro, but if I don't drink, that's my rule. I don't pay for other people's alcohol. And he just didn't say nothing. And so him and Nina, they go and they grab the Hennessy, and he grabs like potato chips, a bunch of fucking garbage from the liquor store. Like, seriously, my health master teacher just eating a bunch of fucking garbage, grabbing a Hennessy bottle.
Oh shit. Listen, yo. Listen, this is something that y'all gotta understand, yo. We are all just fucking human. Get that through your heads, yo. I don't give a damn what a person says through these screens, man, through these phones. Just a human, man. And we all have moments and we all have days. And this is what's important about the ideal man is that you never look at another individual like that. Because we are light and dark at the same time. This person is heartbroken because bro wanted to eat some hot fries. Yo, y'all people are expecting a savior. You are really, people are out here really, really, really expecting other people to fit the Jesus Christ motif. Come on, y'all. This is about the ideal man. The ideal man understands his own nature. So anything the ideal man understands his own nature. So you know that dark that exists in you also exists in other individuals. The contradiction that exists in you also exists in other individuals. So you never raise another man or elevate another man and put him on Mount Olympus. This boy's feelings is hurt because bro wanted to drink and turn up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the vegan lifestyle is not the most fun life. Sometimes you want some onion rings.
And I'm thinking, damn, all right, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then I apologized. I said, hey, yo, like, I apologize if that made you feel uncomfortable about me. Just like, yo, you apologize too much. If we don't invite you around again, now you know why. He said this shit to me, and I'm like, damn. And
he getting hold too. This is a tragic story, man. Don't worry, it keeps going though. This story keeps going. And you know this is true because anybody that puts them in position, anybody that tells stories of their own hoeing, it's true, right? But the main thing is that y'all got to understand that this is America and money matters. And big bank take little bank. And when you're the one with the capital, you don't get handled a certain kind of way. You don't get talked to a certain type of way. This person that came with the money that put 9,000 in this guy's hands on the intro says, hey, if we don't invite you around anymore, you know why? Are you fucking crazy? Right there. I mean, he been should have smacked somebody, but right then, like, nigga, I got the capital. So again, this is more about this individual and yo, talk to your sons, man. Talk to your sons, talk to your nephews, put confidence in them. Don't put the fear of the police in them. Don't tell them that they're hunted. Don't tell them that, oh, the system is against you. Cause this what the fuck it produces, yo. You out here, man. This is not good, man.
Damn, man. Like, I'm already fucking up with this dude. Like, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and just don't say nothing. Like, you know, I'm just shut up and don't say nothing. So we hit the music studio that night. I stayed up. I was attentive. Nina, the artist, his wife or whatever, fell asleep. Because it was my dream to be with Brother Polite, and it was also my dream to be in a professional recording studio making a professional record. So
like, hey, my dreams. These are my dreams. Oh God. How many Hollywood stories have we heard, ladies and gentlemen? My dreams. These are my dreams. This is why you have to put confidence in your sons. That son, no matter what, boy, with 2 nickels in your pocket, you are the one. You that guy, yo. Do that to your sons. And then after you do that and love on them like that, have an expectation of them and hold them accountable, coach them hard before your baby is out here like this with the life insurance money that you leave them.
Let's break out the shots. And then he's like, yo, it's spiritual. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like Bobby Hammond. I get it. He's like, all right, cool, G. So I take some shots. I have, you know, I didn't want to, literally, I felt some kind of peer pressure. I just didn't want to miss out on the vibe or ruin the vibe.
Hey, didn't he say stop drinking? You see? This person went not drinking. Why is he drinking? Because the gaze and the presence of this person has him so overwhelmed that he forgot everything, that even that part, he wasn't drinking. Now he's drinking. You see? These are what your children are out here doing because you're not coaching them hard. And their no's turn to yeses.
So we did the Vegas thing. I obviously drove back, and what ended up happening was him and Nina got in a big fight, and Nina started disrespecting us, and so he flipped out on Nina really hard, like extremely hard, very hard, and I didn't say nothing. I didn't even look. I didn't say nothing, and I guess at that moment he felt like he could trust me because I act like nothing happened the whole time. I didn't tell him to calm down. I just didn't shut up. I ignored the whole situation. So it was afterwards I drove him back and I bought them food, bought Nina food, and he was just like, no, this was the easiest I've ever been in years, and da-da-da-da-da. And I felt like at that moment he opened up more to me. He really, you know. And so, is it still going? All right, man. I don't even know. Like, the story goes so deep. So it ended up happening where we get back and we ended up going to dinner. It was one of the other live streams, and at the end of the meal, I had to pay for everything. It was like a $400 bill.
Yo!
You know what I'm saying?
What?
And I was just like, whoa. He was like, oh, that's an investment, G. That's put into your trust. I'm going to try to keep this as chronological.
Yo, everything is on him. Everything is on this dude. They running through his paper. With them 9.5 Air Max on. He paying for dinner and everything. Why? Let's step outside of judgment and go into psychology, because we're talking about the ideal man. And I wanted the ladies to sit in because you have kids, right? I wanted the ladies to sit in because you have sons. How are you coaching your sons? How are you talking to your babies? What do you say to them? Because this is super important. This dude is being ran through. And if you think it can't happen to your son, you are bugging. You tripping. It is okay to pivot and step up your parenting, to redesign your child to be a different kind of man, a man of different kind of principles, made of different type of ingredients, equipped for the future. Because this individual right here, man, natural selection is going to have their way with them.
Logically as in order they can, but there's so many different times and situations. And every time I was driving him, I'm from the jungle, I'm from Hawaii. Yeah, I'm originally from LA, but I spent the last 10, 12 years. So there was so much pressure to drive in LA and get to things on time, and just like, you know, and then I was getting pressure from Raed, like, why are you going so slow? And, you know, and I'm worried about driving his pregnant wife around. I'm a net, like, and so it was a lot of anxiety.
Hey, real quick, he said he's getting pressure from the girl, one of the women. Now he said, why are you driving so slow? Now imagine how it was really said. He's not saying it how it was really said because they don't respect him. So imagine how it was really said. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had a lot of stank on it. And he got the money. That's the ill thing about this story.
Anxiety and stress on that. And then I'm paying for Airbnbs. And I'm just literally waiting on Polite to call me. I still don't have no car, by the way. Oh yeah, when we get back to Vegas, he's like, all right, G, you know what? You can keep the car right now. You can keep the car, you can do your thing. And yeah, just drop us off. Right? So I ended up having the car for a little bit, but it was his car. I never got the car that I paid for. You know what I'm saying? So I was driving around a little bit. I had a little fun, but at the same time, I'm spending left and right Airbnbs and fast food, thinking like, all right, so when are we going to get this condo? Literally, weeks and weeks went by, and he's like, yo, pay for the furniture. Oh, also, I had to pay for the furniture. It was like $3 or $4 grand before I went out there. So I paid him that. And he was like, oh, there's real estate fees. I have people looking all over, so I paid him that. And then it ended up being storage fees for the furniture. So I had to pay him that. And I'm thinking, all right, like, I'm about to get all this back. And there's just so many times where I had to rush him and his wives, or him and Nita, to the airport, had to go pay for the baggage. Yo, pay for this. Yo, pay for that. All this, I had to pay for him left and right. And I'm thinking, damn. And there was times, like the first time, I kept asking him for books. Yo, Polite, can I get a book? When can I set up the trust? When we can get the condo? And at that point, I felt it was kind of cheaper just to sleep in the car. You know what I'm saying? So and then I hit a point where I'm like, yo, honestly, like, I can't do it. And he just flipped out. And he was just like, you know what? I'm giving you your refund back. I got a private interest hold-ins account. I'm just going to refund you your money. How disrespectful. I did all this work for you. And I'm thinking, like, about to cry. Like, fuck, did I just ruin this opportunity to, like, change my life? Like,
What's going on here? I'm being serious. What's going on here? This is a true story, because this is this person telling their own story. And the story is so hoish that I know it's true. Because this is an L of epic proportions. But no judgment. What's going on here, y'all? I'm being dead ass. And how do you know your son is not going through this? How do you know? You and the father broke up. Y'all got a divorce. Your son is going through something. How do you know your son is not going through this? How do you know your man is not in this frame of mind? How do you know? Because his dick is big. So nothing, whatever happened to your man like that. How do you know his confidence is not high? How do you know the guys in your life are the guys in your life ideal men? How do you know? What's going on right here? There's more to the story though. I'm not done. It's more. I just need to ask y'all what's going on.
And man, and he was just like, yo, we need to meet up. So he goes, we meet up, and we start building and start talking. And I don't know, this is what he does. He's a magician with words. But he ended up calming me down. And I said, all right, cool, no worry. He's like, yo, yeah, and you just need a little bit more investment, right? So I gave him like a couple $1,000, $2,000. And also, man, there's just so many times. And so I'm trying to think about all the times I gave him money. And so, the tax liens, I kept bugging. Nothing. I haven't heard nothing. He said that was pending. The trust, never heard. I was begging him for books. Hardly ever got them. You know what I'm saying? And then that's going to be part one, right? That's going to be part one. Pause it. What up, YouTube? This is Crypto Roots. I just want to say I appreciate all the support. This is going to be part two about my experience being Brother Polite's mentee. And this is nothing but the truth. I'm at the point where I'm already facing, I probably won't get my money back. And I'm doing whatever I can on the back end to see what I can do to get back. But he's ignoring my calls. He's not talking to me. But now I just want to, and I've been sick within the 3 times within the last month and a half. I haven't been getting sleep. The anxiety has been
look at him. Hold on.
Rough. So
let me make this bigger.
Get this off my chest.
Look at him.
So I can
you can't see that.
And do positive things for myself. So, hotel investments. I forgot to mention that.
Listen to this.
So I told you about the tax liens. Now, before I went out to LA, Polite was saying, hey, yo, I flip hotel rooms. You want to get in on that investment?
Oh, God.
And I'm saying, obviously, sure. So he's like, all right, well, I buy rooms in Vegas or in LA, and then I flip them to wealthy clients. You can pay for the room, and then you'll get a return on your investment. And so I said, yeah. So for 2 weeks, almost every day or every other day, Polite would call me, say, stay on the phone. I'm going to get the hotel people. He calls the hotel people. Soon as they're ready to charge, he tells me to give him my debit card information. And I do, because I'm his mentee now. You know what I'm saying? I already came this far. So I'm not even sure how much I invested. It's anywhere from $8,000 to $9,000 in hotel rooms, maybe even, I'm not sure. And I was supposed to get, later he told me I was going to get about $16,000 back or something like that.
One of the problems in Black America is we want money without sweat. This person has been getting told ridiculous flips. The first one was, the mentorship, 3,500. Then when he met him, gave him 9 racks, told him he could turn 25,000, triple it in 14 days. And it'll keep going like that. He wants a certain life without sweat. Why though? Why does he want this certain life? Because there's nothing inside of him Now, this is an extreme case, don't get me wrong. But it's so many dudes like this, though. It's because we don't do anything to cultivate males to men. Only thing we say is get a job. And for real, sadly, the only value a lot of niggas have is in their dick, yo. That's it. Outside of that, no one has any use for him. Tragic. Because he's not the only one. Trust me.
So I was really impressed. So now I'm paying for rooms, expensive hotels in Vegas and the Luxor and on Dawes in LA and it have to be a certain square footage, and he's got wealthy clients. And he told me, I'm gonna send you an itemized list of all that you purchase, all the hotel rooms. I'm gonna send you a list. My accountant or somebody's gonna send you a list. I'm thinking, dope, like something like official now, something I could get official. And I waited, and then I never got anything. And then I hit him up because he was calling me for more hotel rooms nonstop. And I said, yo, I never got the list. He's like, you never got it? I'm gonna send it. Well, I'm gonna send it again. I'm gonna have my somebody, a CPA or somebody, send it again. And I said, okay. And that was kind of that. Like, and then it just so happened, like, so many. What he does is so many. He just presents more and more opportunities, and then you get distracted by trying to keep up with all the opportunities. And he has, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna send this. So we already had the tax liens. I sent the money for the trust. I sent him money for the mentorship. I sent him money for the tax liens, and then I was paying on the phone for the hotel rooms. With my debit cards. And then he presented the condo opportunity. So I got a list of a few different. I just have a list of just these different things that are just eating at my consciousness, and I have to just let them out. So, and they're not exactly in chronologically order. But I'm explaining the best I can. So I was sleeping in Polite's. I was Polite's driver 24/7. And I felt like to be in his inner circle, I had to do something to provide something, more than just my investment money. Because he's like, I normally don't invite mentees. I normally don't invite people out here. I don't even hang out with men, So I felt like being his driver was the one way to kind of just be in a circle and kind of like, just, be a part of whatever he's doing and just kind of watch and observe and, take notes. And so I was at his beck and call. I was sleeping in his car. Every time I'd fall asleep, he'd call me 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. It didn't matter. I had to get up because it was his car. Remember, I was paying and I didn't even realize it was rented. He told me it was his car. And so one night he calls me and say, hey, can you meet me over here? I'm thinking, damn. So I drive and I'm like sleeping in the car. He pulls up and he's got this other woman there. And he's got like house slippers and shit. And I'm thinking, damn, like he just got done smashing. Like in my head, he just got done smashing, like no joke. And he's like, yo, can you drop her off? And I've never seen this girl before. And I'm like looking at her like, what? Like, and he's just like, yo, she lives about 30 minutes away. I'm like, damn, man. 30 minutes away. It's like, I'm fucking tired. I'm like, all right, man, no problem. I'll do it, And this chick, I'm not here to be judging no one, but as far as the woman Polite, she was not at all nearly attractive. And I'm thinking, whoa, like Polite would smash this chick? She starts smoking.
Yo, man, listen. An ideal man would never put a person on a pedestal like this. He is coming into this situation in awe of this person, watching them. And this person is showing them that, you know what, not saying, because he's that, what you thought, but there's another side too. Every front has a back, yo. And that woke shit and that conscious shit, you really looking for super niggas, for real. You're really looking for the perfect nigga. But the closest to perfection you could get in anything is your own behavior. So put that on your pipe and smoke it.
Smoking cigarettes in the car. I'm thinking like, yo, like, can you, what, polite, like, banks chicks that smoke cigarettes? I'm thinking like in my head, like, she's loud, she's overweight, she's talking, and I ended up driving her over an hour and a half away in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to drive her. If you ever been from LA to Vegas, damn near literally on the way to Vegas, I had to drop her off. And not only that, I had to drive all the way back to get to my Airbnb just to get some sleep. And I was so upset and angry with Polite. Like, I wanted to just be like, yo, I can't do this. I can't drive more than 30 minutes away. Like, I and I didn't say nothing. I just kept it to myself. And so a few weeks, like a couple nights later, Polite hits me up. He's like, you got an old $50 bill. And I'm like, what the what is he? He's like, I know it's odd, but you have an old $50 bill. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I can go in the store and check to maybe see if they have an old. That's like the weirdest request I've ever heard. So I go and I'm asking people like, no, we just got new $50 bills. And I'm like, polite, like they just got new $50 bills. And he's just like, all right, whatever, bring it. And I get in the car with Polite, and he's like, yo, you know that chick the other day? She catfished me. She showed me fake pictures. She pretended to be someone she's not. It was a mentorship. And I'm like, damn, bro, I thought you smashed her. He's like, nah, no way. She paid me for the mentorship, so I went and picked her up, and da-da-da-da-da. And she was just talking. And I'm like, damn. Like, he's like, bro, she drove me over. He's like, what? And he's like, yo, he's like, she left her wallet in my car. And she keeps calling me to get her wallet out of my car because she has her last $200. But it just so happens that my aunt asked me for some money, came in my car, and went in the black wallet and took the wallet, thinking it was her dad's money, but ended up being the lady's money, right? So, and then Amanette comes a few days later and finds that woman's ID in Polite's car, and like, who is this chick? And Polite's like, I don't know who that is. Who is this chick? And so he was like, yo, Amanette was tripping on me. And so he's like, yo, I gotta get this chick out of my life. Like, she's I don't know, she probably purposely left her wallet in my car. And she said she left the last $200, and I need to mail her wallet with the money back. But he's like, my aunt took the money and spent it.
Now, does this sound like a person that's in a position to do a mentorship for someone? No shade. You know, I haven't said anything bad about bruh this whole time because it's not really about him. It's about this dude right here. And us developing an ideal man, someone that this never happens to. But he's paying, his initial startup was $3,500 for a mentorship. Now he's actually getting what he paid for. Believe it or not, he is definitely being mentored. He's getting a crash course in fuckery. He's definitely learning, right? He's definitely learning. He's getting that mentorship. It ain't come how he thought it was gonna come, though.
And he's like, I'm so fucking smart. I'm a genius. I know how much money was exactly there. So he's like, can you give me $100 bill? Can you give me a $50 bill? Can you give me a $5 bill? And I'm like, he's like, can you put in the wallet? And he's like, I'll pay you back later. But put in the wallet, and can you mail it overnight? And I'm like, he's like, I need to get this off me as soon as possible. And I'm like, all right. At that time, like, I'm already in too deep. So I had to give him my $155. I had to go to the post office, wait in line, pay $27 to have it overnight shipped it to her so that Polite wouldn't have to trip no more, wouldn't have to worry. I did that shit. You know? Never paid me back. Never paid me back. All right. So
There's more.
Now, this was towards the end of my experience with him, and this is just whatever way I wrote it down. And I was waiting in the park because the car rental, I was sleeping in his car, and I at this point I ran out of most of my money. I gave it most of Polite.
Whoa.
And so the car had to get took and had to go on a run. I don't know what that meant. So I was out on the streets with my luggage, and I'm like, Polite, like this, like I need a place to stay. I need a place to stay. I'm in the park. And I've been in the park. He's like, yo, I'm gonna get somebody to get you a hotel room, and you're gonna be all right. It's gonna be cool, and da 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 da. Just wait at the park. This was the second day in a row. I didn't even tell you about the day before. I waited in the park with all my luggage for like 7 hours, right? And I'm from Hawaii. LA was super cold. I'm sitting there and it's dark at night. I'm out there. I'm like, Polite, yo. He was texting me throughout the whole day. Yo, within the next hour, I'm gonna get you. And I'm sitting there and it's cold and dark at night. And I got all my luggage with me. There was a manhunt. Helicopters, police, all guns coming out in the park. I'm the only one with the park. The helicopters are coming and they're shining the light on me. The police are all coming. I'm the only one in the park, black dude in LA with all my shit. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I can't even move. I can't even run. Like, I'm just like total suspect right now. The lights aren't on me. And I take a picture and show Polite. I send the picture like, yo, Polite, like, I need to get out of here. Like they're out there on a manhunt right now. It's like, well, if you didn't do anything wrong, you shouldn't be worried about it. You da 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 da. And I'm like, whoa, like he's texting, I'm sitting in the video. And he's like, oh, you're just paranoid. You're just always paranoid because I smoke weed. So he just likes to take advantage of that and say I'm paranoid. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm actually kind of keeping my cool as much as possible. So I need a place. I need a place now, man. Like I've been waiting all day. I need a place now. I'm cold, bro. So I get a text later, and he's like, all right, confirmation. Show up to this hotel. And you got it. It's already paid for you, right? I still have to pay for my own Uber there. So I just slowly, as the helicopters are looking at me, I'm like slowly walking towards the street, like walking by cops are like shining the lights on me, and I'm like, just like, and then I get my Uber. I go to the hotel room. So by the way, I'm paying for Nina's hotel rooms at the most expensive ones in Hollywood. I'm paying for hotel rooms over in Vegas. I'm paying for expensive hotels left and right. I'm thinking Polite, like in my mind, this was me being foolish, thinking like, yo, I'm at least get like a nice spot to stay for the night, like to sleep for the night. Nope. Ended at some like kind of dirtbag like hotel, and I show up to the dude, and at the room they're like, did you purchase this? I'm like, nah, somebody else purchased it for me. And he's like, no, you have to show your ID, you have to show your credit, you have to be the purchaser to check in. And I'm like, are you serious? Like he's like, yeah, that's the way we do it. And I'm thinking, damn, I'm almost breaking down. I call Polite. I'm like, yo, man, like they said I had to be the purchaser of the ticket to check in the room. He's like, what? They never do. He's like, they never do that at the fancy hotels. And I'm thinking, why didn't you just give me a fucking room, like at a hotel, like, like in my mind. And this was like the part. This was getting that close. So he's like, all right, well, go to this other hotel over on Sunset somewhere in West Hollywood. And it's going to only cost you $80 a night. I'll pay you back. And I'm thinking, so I had to pay for an Uber there. I show up, dirtier, nastier hotel, like than the one before. And I'm thinking, so I go in and check in, and it's an Indian couple, and they start disrespecting me. They start trying to steal my money. They overcharged me. I told them, and then they didn't even give me a receipt. I had to ask them for, they just like, were so rude to me. I go in the room, I look in the room, it literally looked like someone died in the room. It looked like it's 1970s. It was like some Jim Morrison hotel. That was the hotel where Jim Morrison said it was old. And the room was dirty. And I broke down, man. I wanted to fucking die. I really wanted to kill myself. I wanted to die. I was like, why would this person fucking do this to me? Like, why? And why? Like, why would I? I'm alone. I'm broke, and I didn't give it all up, and this is what I get in return. And he's calling me paranoid. He's calling me, just chill out, bro. And so that's when I broke down, and I'm lucky I couldn't find something to really hang myself from. And I cried myself to sleep.
What do you think? You guys hearing the same thing I'm hearing? What do you think? Not for real though. Take judgment off of it. Your first thought about the situation, take that off of it and go deeper. How does this happen? How is this person outside in the parking lot for 7 hours? How is this person getting talked to and treated like this? How did this person become a chauffeur? Why is this person sleeping in dirty hotels in the car? Take your first thought off of it. No judgment. How does this happen? Don't you think it's time to have a conversation about what is man? Ideal man at that? Because you see, based on the footage that I showed you, you need right now the ideal of the ideal man. Matter of fact, yeah, let me go back to that because that was important. So I started the video. Do y'all y'all had enough of him? That you got the point? Because he keeps going. He keeps going. Nah, I think we know what's up with bruh. Right? We know what's up with bruh. So now, let's go back to the original video about the ideal man. Now listen, I know she has an accent, but listen though, listen. Now would the ideal man, based on what she's describing, would he ever be in this situation? Try to follow through the accent.
Met Hank Rearden or John Gall, how would you describe the ideal man?
Well, it actually took me about 700,000 words in Atlas Shrugged to describe him, so it's impossible to give a description. But I could tell you only the essential characteristics above everything else. A rational man.
A rational man.
Rational man. A man guided exclusively by reason. An independent man. And a man of great self-esteem. Mm-hmm. I would name these three as distinguishing characteristics. The essential ones are what I regard as an ideal man.
Mm-hmm. So a rational man then would depend upon nothing except his own reason for determining his actions.
Exactly.
No belief in or no belief in anything he couldn't see or touch.
That isn't exactly the definition of reason. Certainly no belief as faith. Mm-hmm. No faith in anything. Mm-hmm. But reason is the faculty which identifies and integrates the material provided by your senses. So you don't smell or touch with your reason. Yes, that's the material which your reason integrates into concepts. And certainly an ideal man would never permit himself to act on the guidance of emotions or to act without knowing exactly what he's doing. Mm-hmm. If he's guided by reason, this will be the first two consequences. He will always know what he is doing and why, and he will not act blindly, and he would not act because he felt like it.
Do y'all hear this? That gentleman is not in that situation with this mentality.
My ideal man, and to me, this is one of the worst, most immoral actions that anyone can permit himself to say, I did it because I felt like it. It's quite all right to feel, but feelings are not tools of cognition. They are not guides to reality, and you keep your feelings to yourself. Feelings are the consequences of thought and action, not the primary.
So if I didn't do it because I felt like it, why did I do it? I did it because
you felt. Now you see how bad language is.
Right.
Because you concluded consciously that this is the right thing to do, right for whichever goal you're undertaking. You decide what you want rationally, and you choose rationally what steps you will take to pursue that goal. So that if you take a given action, you do it because you think it is right.
Does man should he have any concern for other men? You say individual, you say...
Concern is a very loose term. What would you mean by it?
Well, it certainly, most of us are brought up by an ethic that says that we are our brother's keeper.
I would say we most certainly are not, could not be, and should not attempt to be. The only concern men should have for other men is respect for their rights. A man should never expect another man to sacrifice for him, nor should he sacrifice himself for other men. He should respect the independence and the rights of others, and never take part in any form of enslavement, political enslavement. But outside of that, he's not responsible for other men, and should never permit them to assume the role of responsibility for him. He should not submit to force nor exercise force. He should not ask others to leave for his sake, nor should he ever live for the sake of others.
Now, bro asks a great question. Can a woman define what an ideal man is? Totally. Because I don't even hear these definitions, what she talked about. I don't hear even guys talk about that. If you hear a dude say, if you hear a guy conversation and is talking about manhood, it has everything to do with other people. Now, the reason why this is Ayn Rand, the reason why she can discuss the ideal man is because man is not a body part. It's a philosophy. So you can actually as well create the ideal woman, because the ideal woman has nothing to do with her vagina. That's a female. Females have vaginas. Women have minds. Right? Yeah. So she could definitely talk about the concept. Anyone can talk about the concept, because the concept of the ideal man is an elevation away from the body. Right. It's all mind. And I just showed you a video of a dude that was out of his mind. He was out of his mind. He had no mind. He came in that environment for a person to use his mind. And if you remember in the beginning, he said this person woke him up to consciousness. Let me tell you something. If someone wakes you up to consciousness, they have put you in a prison. Waking up to consciousness is not waking up to yourself. Waking up to consciousness is waking up to a reality that you have no control over, where you are a victim of circumstances, where you are here by accident. Waking you up to what? Monsanto? You can't take Monsanto with you when you die. Waking you up to what? Racism? It was here before you was here. has nothing to do with you. For real, for real. A person waking you up to consciousness is a warden at a prison. Consciousness is no different than the church that you left. Same thing. Hallelujah, Hotep. Same thing. Same thing. The only thing a master teacher can give you is a mirror. You guys remember in The Last Dragon? Bruce Leroy was looking for the master. And so his teacher sent him on a goose chase, all to find himself. And that's what we need to talk about, the futuristic man. Plugging in these characteristics of the ideal man for the futuristic man. Because we are on the dawn of a new horizon. We are in a digitized world. We are in a quantum world. We are in a world where things move very, 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 very fast. So you're going to have to keep up. So taking these characteristics of the ideal man to become the futuristic man, because the gentleman that I just showed you, he's not the futuristic man. No disrespect to him. Again, this is not a conversation about judgment. However, we have to be objective though. That gentleman as of today is not built for the future because he has no mind. Virtual reality is mind. The Kabbalion says the universe is what? Mental, mind. Okay. Taking the characteristics of the ideal man and plugging it in for the futuristic man. The futuristic man has to be above the neck. That's where you conduct all your affairs. That's where you handle your business at. That's even where you pick your mate at, above the neck. If you pick a woman primarily because how she looks, you're mating from the neck down. And you see what happens. There's too many mistakes. Unwanted children, toxic relationships. People that once said they love each other now are sharing shots on blogs. Because the guy picked her with his eyes. The futuristic man must operate above the neck because AI is above the neck. The futuristic man must exist in the cloud, yo. So that means you have to shed all the things that got you here because it's not going to get you to the future. That's an old model. It's not active anymore. The collective consciousness won't work. The victim mentality won't work. The defeatist mindset won't work. The hyper fascination with your oppressor won't work. The twisted homosexual relationship that you have with white men won't work. Oh, what do I mean by that? Because you think they're everything that you're not. You really think they're living a better life than you. You really think they have a privilege? The Rothschilds, anybody. You got the same 24 hours in a day. There's one event that happens to all men, and that's death. So who has privilege? The sun shines on the just and the unjust equally. Who has privilege? You're in the possession of a supercomputer, which is your mind. And if you use it, it will open up a world to you that your father couldn't even vision of. If you use that supercomputer that's on the top of your shoulders, you will become the person that you always thought you were. You see what happened in that video. That was very tragic. But that's what happens when you walk around with a collective consciousness. That's what happens when you walk around looking for a master teacher. That's what you walk around with a community mentality. It cost him $150,000. It's fair to say that he'll never touch that type of money at one time ever again. The guy looked sick. He was drained. There was nothing left. Because of what? Because he believed in everything except his own self. And that's what they teach you. But you can become the ideal man, fit for the future. You could become the guy that changes the narrative. You could become the guy that they write poetry about because you're so balanced, because you know how to operate with an iron fist and a velvet glove, because you think first before you respond, because you have a position and you're not one of these democratic weenies. You go against the crowd. You take the road least traveled. You pick yourself first. Your sons are watching. Right? Your sons are watching. Your nephews are watching. Right? The old you is watching. What are you going to do? Right? You see what happened to this individual. What are you going to do? Right? That's a tragic story. And the worst thing about that story is it's like an hour and 20 more minutes of abuse. And the guy sat in it. He sat in his own shitty diaper and it didn't bother him. Why? He wanted the ball. He wanted to be around his master teacher. Right? That was a weird, twisted bromance right there. But that's what happens though. Right? I better put that black shit down and pick yourself up, yo. Trust me. What's the worst that can happen with a change of thought? Right? Stop looking at yourself as a black man. You're a man. Fuck that shit. You're a man first. Man first. All them other labels and shit like that, that can be stripped and taken. Right? You die, man. You take man with you. You don't take black with you. You don't take the community with you. Do you want to be the ideal man or not? A man of respect, legacy, and philosophy, and new ideals, and new ways to process information, not talking in memes. Not using the like you fresh off a college campus from gender studies. No. You look at the crowd and you go the opposite direction. What will the males of tomorrow that are transitioning to men, what are they going to say about our generation? What are they going to say? When we had all the space in the world, we had access to free Wi-Fi and library cards and national parks where we could go train. We had everything at our disposal and we did nothing but try to have social justice mastery every week. Something else, right? What are you going to pick, yo? You could pick the ideal man, or you could be this gentleman. Y'all remember him, right? Hold on, just in case y'all forgot. I did have a special guest today. Remember him? Y'all remember him?
And then I woke up the next morning.
Y'all remember him?
I couldn't do this. I gotta leave. So now, fast forward that I'm driving his car around. I mean, backwards.
Look how the energy just shifted.
Let me know when it's like.
It went to straight failure.
And the battery kept dying. The car battery kept dying of the black GMC. And I had to keep getting it jumped. And he kept blaming it on me. Like, you just running the battery dry. I'm like, dude, I'm barely using it. And one time, his other mentee, we were sleeping in the car with me and his other mentee, who we owes over 50K to. We were sleeping in the car. That's
200,000 right there. 200,000 and they sleeping in the car. Y'all, you better ask your sons what's wrong. Baby, come here. Let's talk. You do the talking. What's on your mind? These boys is over here sleeping in cars. 50,000, 150,000. How you go from 150,000 and $50,000 in your bankroll, to where you are sleeping in the car with another dude? This is one of the most incredible hoe stories in the history of hoeing. This is why man sharpens man, yo. The man said he wanted to kill himself. The man looked sick, crying in the bed. What is going on here? Yeah, I brought him up just in case y'all forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, right now. So because I understand recency bias, so now you can understand how important the ideal man is, right?
Car for weeks together, man. It was so uncomfortable. Like, it was uncomfortable because we had to always drive everyone around. So he gave his mentee money to go buy car jumper batteries to get the car jumped. Then he told the mentee to go return it for the money back. And I'm thinking, why, in my head, why would you do that when you know the car? Just have it. It's better to have it on you. And I constantly had to go keep asking random people on the street, can you please give me a jump? And I had to keep doing it after that because I'm like, yo, can you get this car changed? Car battery changed. Let
me say this. I haven't said nothing about Brother Polite. and I'm not going to be disrespectful. What I will say is, bro, these people are out here telling your story, right? They're telling your story, bro. I'm just a guy, you know what I mean? Take it or leave it. But I understand when we fall off path. I remember when I seen you, 2012. I remember what I thought about you. And I thought the shit that was coming out your mouth was incredible. You had a great head on your shoulders and you could go places. And I don't know if you got a broken heart along the way fucking with this black shit, bruh. I don't know, but I understand what it do to a nigga, so there's no judgment. What I will tell you is it ain't never too late for redemption. You're going to have to do the walk of shame, but it ain't never too late. Get back to your thing, fam, because people are out here telling your story, bro. This is your legacy. You got some work to do if it's important to you. So, yeah.
So one of the nights I had to keep getting the car battery changed. He invited me to the movies with his family. He's like, AJ, you want to come to the movies with my family? And I'm like, sure, bro. Like, you know, because he kept calling, you like family now. You like my little brother. You like family now. Like, you cool. He's like, even told me I was going to invite you to stay with us so we can work on the crypto course. And I'm thinking, damn, in the back of my head, like, that would save me money and maybe, you know, like, you know. And that's the Vegas trip. That's after the Texas trip. So I'm getting out of it. So he asked me to go to the movies. But I got so exhausted from just running around and driving him around, not getting sleep, that it got late at night and Polite was supposed to go to the movies. And I didn't know what time. And then my dad called me and I just was about to pass out. And I texted Amanette and I'm like, yo, I can't make it. Can you tell Polite I can't make it? And I knocked out hard. And then I woke up until my phone, Polite's just furious, yelling at me. But, you know, Amanette, say you refuse to go to the movies and, you know, how dare you? I paid for your ticket and, you know, da-da-da. And I'm thinking, fuck, like, you know, he's like screaming at me. He's like, did you talk to me? Did you call me? Did you call me? He's like, you know, you call Amanette. Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking, bro, like, I'm sorry, like I was tired, bro. I thought you had, like I told you I thought you had to actually go to the movies to buy tickets. Like, and it's like, nah, bro, it's 2019. You can buy tickets online now. And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Like, I haven't been in the movies. I don't ever go to the movies, ever. Like, you know? It's like, all right, well, whatever. I'm not tripping. Like, whatever. It's all good. Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, I apologize, bro. From now on, I'll talk to you directly if there's anything that goes on. And so I had to deal with that. Now, when I get to LA, also when we went to Vegas, I had to pay for our hotel rooms, the music studio with Nina. Somehow, some way, we come up with a hit record. I'm not gonna lie. Nina's not. I'm not just trying to like straight up disrespect her, but she's not that talented. She's pretty, and you know, but she's not that talented. Sorry, I'm Mexico, only just blowing up fireworks. But so Polite is writing her lyrics and kind of rehearsing. She's not a rapper, she's not a singer, she's not a dancer. But somehow she pulls it off when we get a hit record. Polite goes to a club one night. I drop all of him and his wives off. And I refused to go in the club because I didn't like that atmosphere. There's just too much homeless people everywhere. And I told Amanette, right, there's just too much poverty for me to try to enjoy myself with all this wealth around. So da-da-da-da-da, Polite hands the CD, hands the record. People like it. Apparently, that's what he tells me. So and the next day, Polite's like, yo, meet me here. So I meet him there, and he's like, yo, it's unbelievable, bro. I just signed a deal, $1.2 million with Sony for Nina. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unbelievable. And he's like, I liked your vibe, bro. I liked your energy. Like, I liked having you around. And since this is what comes out of having you around, I want you to be part of this deal. We just got to shoot another song. We got to make two more music videos. And, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm going to give you 10%. I'm going to give you $120,000. You know, just for joining and being along and, you know, saying handling everything we need. I'm like, wow. damn, 6 figures, like, you know, just for hanging out. And just, you know, it's my dream to be in the music industry and seeing this. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm just like caught up. And then a few days later, Polite's like, yo, you know what? Like, we really grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like your vibe, your energy. I'm gonna give you 15% or something. He's like, I'm gonna give you 150,000. You just rock with us. I may need a little investment. Like, I may need just a little bit, but it's nothing. It's nothing. Like, you're gonna make so much money back in return. She's like, I just need about $3,000.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay, like that's cool. Like, you know, in the back of my mind, we still haven't got the condo. We still haven't even looked at any condos. And I'm thinking, damn, like I'm spending all this money, but like I'm out here, I'm spending money to like, will I have enough money for the condo? So I'm saying, like, let's not pass out on this opportunity. Let's not pass out on this opportunity. So I gave him $3,000, and he's like, oh, we're gonna buy a strip club for the night. I'm gonna pay for the strip club. We're gonna shoot the music video. Da 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 da. And I'm thinking, all right, like, cool, like, you know, for sure. Now. So, and then a couple weeks later, he's like, "Yo, da 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 da. We're doing big business. It's gonna be big. I need $2 more thousand dollars." So it's like $5,000. That's it. $5,000, and you're gonna make $150,000 back. And I'm thinking, I'm in too deep now at this point. So, and he's like, I'm gonna get you to $250,000. He told me this while sitting. He's like, I'm gonna get you to $250,000. You know what I'm saying? 250,000. That's my goal for you. So in the back of my mind, it's like, yo, don't ruin this opportunity with your master teacher who's trying to get you to 250,000. You know what I'm saying? He's like, that money you started off with from your father's insurance, life insurance, you're gonna make back that twice and more in return. I'm thinking, damn. All right. So we hit that $5,000 budget. And I'm gonna tell you how we hit that $5,000 budget. But it just so happens he needed $2 more thousand a couple weeks later. So $7,000 budget. Ended up being I had to buy Nina's clothes, thousands of dollars worth of Nina's clothes. Every time Nina went out, literally every time Nina went out, she had to have a new outfit. Had to, and she spent hours buying it. And I kept pissing Polite off because he kept having to miss the event. And we show up to the event and it's already over. And Nina's all dressed up. I'm not saying she's a slut, but she's dressed in slutty. Dressed in slutty. And I'm paying for the whole thing. It's like, save your receipts. That's invested. Save your receipts, right? And I'm paying for all her clothes, and her clothes are just piling up. Shoes, heels, this and that. And I didn't realize at the time I was paying for all the studio time. I didn't realize I was paying for the engineer. I didn't realize I was paying for Loaded Lux. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I was paying for King Los's studio because Polite invited them to get a track with Nina. And I didn't realize, and then while at the studio, he would have me, he's like, yo, G, can you run at the ATM and withdraw as much as you can? And I'm like, I can only pull out $500 like for a day. He's like, all right, pull that out. And he would have me go to downtown LA or someplace sketchy in the middle of the night because they're recording in the studio all night. And I have to, bums, fucking weirdos, drug addicts, I'm having to pull out $500 in cash by myself in the middle of the night, like in LA and Hollywood. Like, and I get back to this, I'm like, I can't do that, man. Like, I can't do that. Like, he's like, all right, G. Yeah, all right. So that was the whole, and apparently later, Nina didn't even know about that he was cutting me on the deal. And there was an argument about him and her over the money. And then they got in an argument. Remember I told you he flipped out. They had an argument over who should have more camera time. I'm not joking. Like literally, like they were so high on their egotistical attention thing. They were fighting over who should have more camera time while the production of the music album. Like, and I'm thinking, I didn't say nothing. We still got some time?
It's 24 minutes.
24 minutes.
Yeah. Ladies and gents. So you guys understand what I mean about the ideal man? think we heard a good video to break down, and you see the contrast between the two. You see the differences. This is a very, very sad story. I'm laughing because it's sad, right? But it's not funny. But this is what happens when we don't deal with philosophy. This is what happens when we don't deal with complex concepts. This is what happens when we tell people what to think and not how to think. This is what happens when your children are furniture and you're not intimate with them intellectually and challenging their mind. This dude is not a virgin neither. So in closing, there is some ladies in the chat that's been rocking with us, and I appreciate you. What is your role in this, in the terms of the ideal man? How do you make sure that never happens on your watch with a lover, kid, brother? What do you do? And the only assignment, yes, I'm giving you an assignment. The only thing you really have power over is to not distract the males in your life that are focused on themselves. I don't think these guys can afford to have their attention on you, honestly. And if you love him and you fuck with him, then you make him do him first before he does you. Because you see what happens. Your beauty, your food, your body, your curves, your touch, your nurturing at this point in the game is a handicap. And these fellas got work to do before they get to that. Look outside, ladies. Look outside. That's the only thing you could do, right? Don't distract them, because they're going to be so focused on you that they're not going to be doing the other work. They're not going to be training themselves to be fit for the future. They're not going to be plugging in to the concepts of the ideal man. And you see what happens. And don't you for 1 second think that your son is not out here looking for a master teacher, a guru. We all pay for game, but that's where it stops. So, fellas, like I said, man, this is a no judgment zone, and I'm not even judging, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not. Right? I'm not. Shit happens. Life happens. Right? You came here to learn, so I hope that I did a good job helping you, to giving you some, and that's it, right? Man sharpens man, like iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? My name is Ken Billions. You see the Cash App. If I said something that you fuck with, fair exchange ain't no robbery. Go ahead and make that Cash App noise on my phone go crazy. Follow me on IG, Ken Billions. All right? Hit me on the number game hotline, 888-565-8734. You hit my hotline, the only thing I'm going to do is push you back into yourself, right? And give you some game so you can go be better than what they found you at. Till the next time, fellas, ladies, stay out these niggas' faces, yo. You know what it is.